What happens if you want to have special strokes on your text in Illustrator? For instance, you want a stroke that also closes some counters, like in this example. Or you want a stroke that can be moved around freely without having two objects for that. Or you just want to have a stroke that keeps the letter shapes and doesn't intrude into their space. Welcome to the Vector Garden and this quick tip about Illustrator strokes. Let's start with the bottom one. We want to have a stroke that can be moved around freely. I've got something prepared down here, so let's go in here, and we cannot use just the normal stroke for that. Let's just try that. Two things happen. It cannot be moved around independently from the fill, and also if you increase the weight, then you see this does not go well with the letter shapes. So let's get rid of that. And in order to do that, of course, we need the Appearance panel. So let's go to Window, Appearance, and here it is. And now, in order to get that, we need to apply another stroke. Now, let's first take a look at that stroke again. I'm going to apply that again. And just check out where it is. If you double click the characters here, then you see there is the stroke. It's inside of there. So let's get rid of that again. And when you select the text object with the selection tool, just click once, then the Appearance panel should look like this. And then what you can do is apply another stroke like that. Now this one looks like we did before because it's on top of what we already have. So the red fill is in here and this stroke is on top. In order to get that result that we have here, that is of course correct. But just to show you what you need to do in order to get a proper stroke, you just need to take this and move it below the characters. And then you can make it as thick as you want. It won't intrude into the fill. Let's make that thinner again, and let's move it on top of that again. And in order to be able to move that around freely, you can use an effect. So let's go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and in here we can just move that around like so. What's important is the stroke needs to be selected when you apply the effect, because then it gets applied to the stroke. But if you happened to apply the effect like that, so it ends down here, what you can still do is just take it and move it in here, and then it gets applied to just the stroke. So that's that. Now, how do we get a stroke to also fill the counters? That is a little more difficult because we cannot do that with a stroke. In this case, we need another fill. So we just start with the same situation and apply another fill. It gets black. That's just the default. And let's just move it below the characters because the red needs to be in front. Here we have that fill. And then in order to be able to see it, we need to go to Effect and then Path, Offset Path. This is large, so let's set that to 0.2 like that. And then it just outlines this text. The next thing is we need to fill those counters, and we do that with effects as well. So the fill is now highlighted, and then you can go to Effect, Pathfinder, Divide, like that. And now you see, well, nothing happens. These now should all be filled. They aren't filled because what we also need to do is go into the options. So this effect has options, but when you apply it, Illustrator does not open them. We have to click that in order to get to these options, and then we need to uncheck this one. And then you see, well, they are filled. That's great. Now, in order to make this perfect, what we also do is apply another pathfinder. So let's also go to add, so that all those shapes get added and we have one single shape afterwards. So that's how we fill them. And then we have the result we want. So why do we do things this complicated way? Build all of this and not just expand that text and make that outline around it. Effects allow you to change everything afterwards. Because if you build this, then you see there might be some typos in the text. There might be issues with the tracking or the kerning of the text. And maybe someone also suggests that you use a different font, and then you can do all that. You can edit the text. You can select a different font, and you see this works on all the different fonts and you get the same result. Or you can change the text size and everything that you want changed.